Jason, do you support the rollback rate?
No, I do not. And I don't support the untruthful nature that is what is called the rollback rate. The rollback rate is called the rollback rate in order to deceive the public. It is to make them believe that we are somehow going backwards. But what we don't tell them is that backwards is sometimes an increase. A tax increase is a tax increase is a tax increase. And one thing I will be very clear with all of you and with the people in Hernando County is when we do something, I'm not going to disguise it in things called rollback rates. But no, I do not support the rollback rate because it's higher than the rate now. We don't need to raise taxes. We can do what we can. We can get the services out of government that we need by making cuts. And yes, there are absolutely some departments. There are absolutely some things that have no business in government, which is another reason why I support charter government. Charter government gives you, the people of Hernando County, the ability to decide what your county government should do. That sounds like a Republican principle to me. It sounds like the people of Hernando County would stand up and say, this is what we want government to actually do, and all this other stuff, it's not really that important. We're going to have to make some tough decisions, and I'm ready to lead on those decisions.
Thank you. First of all, the budget's $335 million, not $450 million. It was presented by George Zetline at last Tuesday's workshop. As far as metal detectors, I don't think we're looking for coins in the ground. All right, we're looking for utility pipes and such like that. So there is a difference when you look at apples to apples and not generalized statements. As far as a rollback goes, a rollback is not deceiving. It's straight out from the state legislators that will allow you, if you want to, as a board, to bring the millage rate back so you have the same tax level that you had the year before. Our tax levels now are in 1999 levels. We have today 43,000 plus homes that pay an average of $140 a year in their taxes. Am I for a roll-up? In general, no. We rolled up last year 1/3 of a mil. Your taxes were still substantially lower than they were the year before. And we can sit here and we can talk about cuts. And it's going to come down to cuts, ladies and gentlemen, the health, safety, and welfare of this community and what type of community you want to live in.
Personally, I think the bus, we need to simply find a new parking place for it. The parking place that currently is occupied by the bus is costing us way too much money. And I think the proper parking place for that bus should be about 20 miles off the coast of the state of Florida. Folks, the bus is a catastrophe. The bus, I am against for so many reasons. But one of the biggest reasons is because one of the things that we're dealing with in government is a lack of trust by you. You don't trust government anymore. You have lost your faith. That bus is a rolling billboard throughout Hernando County for every concerned citizen, every conservative that sits behind it in traffic, and to say, there it is, empty, with my money. That bus this year is going to cost us $2.1 million. There is no plan to move this down any lower. Last year, they expanded the bus. Conservatives are standing before you saying, if you elect me, we'll address the bus, and now we've made it bigger. Over the next 10 years, that bus is going to cost a total of $22,765,000. In the 10-year or the 30-year plan, 20 years, in 2015, 1 year alone, there's an operating expense of $44 million. Where's that money going to come from? I'm against the bus, 150%, and I will join Commissioner Jim Atkins, I will join Commissioner Wayne Dukes, and finally, conservatives in this town will send a message. We're serious about government. Stop the bus. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, let's start. I've told you many a times that there are many things tied to the bus. Let's get this really straight. I don't know where Mr. Sager's getting his numbers, but these numbers just came out of the office today. The bus costs $1.1 million a year to run. That includes our money that we put in, that includes the grants, that includes the fuel that goes into those buses. Now, never mind what it will devastate economic development. Never mind that you're going to lose grant money for your roads. We are obligated by state law to pick up ADA transportation disadvantage. We must. There is no option. If we don't have the bus, we lose all that money. And the $130,000 that comes out of Transportation Trust Fund now, your tax dollars, is going to put this county in $1 million debt out of the general fund to pick up transportation disadvantage. No option, law. Now, since 2008, going to the records, the bus, every time it was brought to a general meeting, has passed unanimously. So, besides devastating economic development, besides losing money for our roads, my opponent wants to put you another $1 million in debt. So the 7.1 now becomes 8.1. Do we like the way we have to do it? No, ladies and gentlemen, but it's your tax dollars, and if we don't use your tax dollars here, somebody else is. You're not getting them back.